It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 891.
Happy Fat Friday, Gronks. What's happening? What's going on?
This is a throwback for me. I used to get Italian hot chocolates all of the time from Max Brenner, which was in South Melbourne, just underneath the radio station when I worked there.
R.I.P.
Yes. And so I found this is a Belgian hot chocolate from Cocoa Black.
Cute.
Very good.
It's
thick.
it's mousse in a cup, son.
Yeah. Can you, my lips will look brown. That's how chocolatey it is.
Mine are glazy because I've just put a nice little pour on. But we've almost gone similar. Actually, you're in Belgium. I think I'm in Italy. I've got Belcione, Italy, 1953. It's there's Bulleen where I live. There's a large Italian community. Mm-hmm. Great. You know, what that brings is lemon trees, quiet streets, and, Italian sort of importers of sweets. And so there is a store. I embarrassed myself. I went in there and I was I found... So I'll show you what it is. They're these little... If you've been to Italy, they do the version of Nutella. And,
like Bueno type things, but not Bueno?
Kind of. It is it looks like a Tim Tam shape, but it's in the texture of a cake, and so they're very soft, and in the middle there's some gooey chocolate.
Is it like waffle? Waffly?
No, not waffle, like soft, think fake cake. That's what you get.
I love fake cake.
But great in Italy with a long black, or a little, so maybe not even long black, macchiato, or just a little short shot, whatever you call it.
Just to mix things up, I also got some chocolate. I got the marbles. Milk
from
salted caramel. Yeah,
Cocoa Black?
Yes. And
Cocoa
so they
Black.
do look... I mean, this isn't like a Malteser. You're not going to smash them at the speed.
Hey, don't talk about it. Like, you would. I would too.
Yeah. I'm trying to talk myself out of it.
Don't smash them.
So I'll have two. Because
So I walked into this shop, first time shopper, long time walker passer.
Sure.
And I look in, and I said...
Intimidating?
Yeah, quite narrow, sort of a young hipster-looking guy working in there, man bun. Kind of, when someone's kind of looking at you, you see their eyes just sort of dart towards you, but they don't want to sort of engage. Mm-hmm. Weird for a person that works in a shop. But anyway, I said, where do I pay for this? Because there was like a deli, and then there was this kind of like side bit. It's like, just around there, you press the bell. It's just there. Like making it out like I'm a bit of a fuckhead. I was like,
are you a bit of a fuckhead?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I didn't see the bell there, and it's not my go-to to ring a bell. But I said, great to know. I'll love to ring that next time. And in a nice way. I was like, great to know. First time being here. Oh, yeah, great. And so I got, put my transaction through. I nearly walked into the fucking glass window.
Oh, no, you've definitely not been there.
It's
before.
An exit sign. She's like, love, green button. I was like, well, now I know again. Now I know for next time. So it was off to a horrible start.
Mm-hmm. It feels like the type of place that you would get a ticket. Like you would get a number. Yeah. Did they have any of those?
No.
Can you show me that? Can you show me
this
what you're...
is? Oh. It's little, it's fluffy. And it smells like there's like Italian treats have like could be some sort of like alcohol within it. I mean, trust me, sniffing out the alcohol.
Yeah, sure.
If there's
this is like the Bailey's ice cream all over again.
Oh,
you're gonna be drunk.
Look at that. This is great.
Soft.
Oh, so soft. Oh my God. I've won. I'm
really happy too. The salty caramel stuff bursts in your mouth. They're ridiculous.
Oh.
Describe yours.
It is soft, textured sort of fluffiness of the inside with a chocolatey, but like the Italian style chocolatey running through the middle. If you've had panettone with chocolate inside, it's the similar stuff. And on the outside is a beautiful sort of chocolate coating. It's
I love when you speak Italian to me.
Oh, mate, you love it, don't you?
Yeah, it's really nice.
I left the house for a walk this morning, 6 a.m. Just a quickie. I've worked out that I have to do morning and night, otherwise I'm going to absolutely...
During the day is very hard.
It was more leaving it to the last thing, and so I'm out fucking 8:30 p.m. walking for an hour and a half. It's like, absolutely not. I realised I got up and, you know, I'm trying to be quiet, sort of getting my stuff together. I'm hoping Bodhi doesn't wake up. I see his doors open and I close it very gently. I turn on the ducted heating, make sure it's nice for Amos when she wakes up.
It's nice. Heating now instead of October.
I know, it's bizarre. It's getting colder as well. Like the weekend's no good, I don't think.
That's not good.
I mean, we're pushing it. We're getting the use out of the heater before it. I literally went from ducted heating in the morning to split system aircon during the day.
Yeah. Do you have do you have your windows open in the evenings?
No, there's no fly screen, so we've got to get that sorted. But anyway, I got up and I left, and so my arsehole was clenched as I'm leaving, as always, just trying to not wake up the family.
Yeah.
And I got sort of probably 5 or 6 minutes into the walk, and I realised that I didn't have headphones in. And I know you've sort of not come to work because your headphones are charging and you can't do the walk without it. My point being is I had so much noise in my head going on that it had completely gone out of my mind, but like my head felt like I had headphones on. You know,
like a podcast.
It was like just your
mind. It's like the daily talk show in your head. What were you thinking about?
Just nothing much, but just a lot. You know, some mornings are noisier in your mind than others. Some mornings you wake up, there's not much happening.
Yep.
I was thinking about the day that I had, like just what I'm doing, but I was just amazed at how noisy the mind can be.
Yeah.
It is full on. Like, I mean, the conversation with Harps on Wednesday, which, you know, the back end sort of, as Harp says, went deep, and we, you know, we're talking about consciousness and self-awareness. And
did you feel anxious?
No, I actually that wasn't the first thought. It was just like music festival going on, you know, just happening. It was just a bustling mind, which is, it's just a weird, isn't the human experience weird?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the information we consume, we're going to become more and more conscious around that stuff, because at the moment we're just delivered whatever social media throws at us. But it's like I see that me watching CNN and all of the sort of, you know, Fox News, all the different news outlets, watching, you know, the different sides of politics, it is very, very, very noisy. And it's so easy just to be consumed by it too. You can wake up in the morning and you can be consumed by something Trump's done. I could spend an hour before I start work thinking about Trump. Isn't that crazy? It's too much.
I was thinking about him, but I was also thinking about, I had a moment where I was like, is anyone thinking about me right now that's not me? Like, not in a way of like, I want people to think about me. It's like, the following thought was like, think about how many people are thinking about the human Trump, Donald. Like, it's phenomenal. Yeah. It's phenomenal. And so I guess there's probably a lot of ego wrapped up when you're wanting, well, like,
to be thought about. Well, anyone that's listening to this is thinking about you now. Does that make you feel good?
Nah.
Why?
No, like,
you want it to be just unprompted. You want it to be just middle of the. If you've had a dream about Tommy or myself or Mr. 97, you've got some chocolate in your teeth, by the way. If you've had a dream about us, send us an email, hi@thedailytalkshow.com. The best dream. We'll get some stickers. Yeah.
And what about outside of just during the day? Have you thought, like, it's nothing to do with the show? Like, have we come into your mind?
Have you been thinking about us? That's all.
Yeah, just let us know. But no, I in terms of making you feel good, I don't. It hasn't made me feel any. Or maybe when I get the dream stories, that could make me feel good.
Yeah.
But it's there's people that come into my mind that from my past, just bizarre. They just pop into my mind. Why?
This drink is just reminding me of throwing back to a different time. Isn't it crazy? Like I was thinking about how we're really good friends with people we work with when you're working with people, and then your internet's shitting the bed, by the way. Did you want to disconnect and connect?
I'll jump back in.
Yeah.
Keep talking though. I'll try and pick it up.
It's very, very hard to. Have you already gone out and in? No, he's trying to find a good point. No, just the thing about friends that you work with, people that you're close with. Work environments are this thing where you spend so much time together, and then you move on to another job, and it's completely like you won't chat to people. I've been noticing that lately. Like I think about, like I've caught up with Jack a bunch, Jack Post, and we used to do a silly lunch. Do you know what a silly lunch is?
Is it like Fat Friday?
Yeah. So we'd just do it any time. Like it wasn't specific to any day. We would just have a brownie.
That's dangerous, dude.
A brownie, a hot chocolate, just middle of the day, like a lunch, ice cream, like waffles, just silly things. But yeah, like, do you find, have you become really good friends with people that you've worked with, and then you finish working and then you just don't really talk?
Yeah, it is totally about proximity. If you're around people doing the same things, you got the same bubble, same shit that you're trying to work on together. It makes a lot of sense as to why you become close.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I was literally thinking about that the other day, and I don't know if it's a bad thing. Like
falling out of touch of people, like with people, is it? How much responsibility do you put into that? Like I was thinking about people that I just haven't spoken to in ages. There's no falling out. But you just sort of, you go from, at one point you're messaging all the time and talking, and then just slowly you drift apart. It's not a bad thing.
I wonder though what the story is on the other side. Not for everybody.
Yeah.
I could imagine there's a bunch of people that are like, yeah, we just don't work together anymore. We don't really see each other. I love him, but
yeah,
I just, that's the hard bit, because I would craft that story, which is like, yeah, but then maybe some people could resent or
go a bit dark
feel like,
or yeah, because the thing is, it's like, oh well, they haven't tried either. So it's this whole thing of like, oh, like I haven't tried, but I just haven't tried just because I've been busy or doing other stuff.
Yeah,
but do we have beef?
You don't want guilt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess, I mean, what we're talking about is what Harps was talking about, the what's the experience of you. And so maybe it's like, that's what I think. How would that other person be thinking? What could have been a situation? But then here's the other bit, which doesn't solve any problem, but it gets too deep and you can't contact them. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's too far gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
What did you eat when you were employed at a normal company? Were you a guy who brought food, or would you go down to the local shops? What were you doing?
Oh, no, in Shepparton. It's probably my only real job.
What about when you were at Kiss in Melbourne? What were you doing then? That was a breakfast. Were you doing breakfast?
Yeah, sushi. There was a sushi joint.
Mm-hmm. Got
a fair bit of sushi. But Shepparton had a great routine. Smoothie in the morning, tuna salad after. I had it dialed in.
You're pretty lean. So what was the, do you ever remember having a budget? Like I remember it being a big thing where Bree's like, try and keep it under $10.
Yeah.
It was like an Indian place in the food court that would do like a $10 special, and that becomes your thing.
Yeah. No, it was always. I mean, if you're doing the sushi game, you're under $10 for 3 rolls, I reckon. 3 rolls, and so yeah. I mean, $10 is great, but is $10 viable? I mean, if you're going anywhere,
if you don't get a drink,
court,
so the things you would need is you could probably get like a sandwich, maybe. What does a bakery sandwich cost? $6, $7?
Oh, I reckon 8. Yeah,
8.
Yeah. But then what kind of bakery is it? Because then if it's a higher end, it's going to be a $13.50. $13.50 little spender.
And then there's the coffee thing. Just imagine the amount of people that when you're in an office block you would all get coffee together. That was like a big, like I know when we don't do that much because I hate fucking Victoria Street and dealing with everything that goes on. And so I just like once I'm at the office, I like that I'm at the office. But I remember that being a big thing where you'd rock up at 8 o'clock. Everyone's at their desk and you'd be like, oh, do you want to get coffee? You sort of just go out and get it. I guess that would be something
with
a lot
your
of people
best
would miss. Yeah.
Your
best friends
mates
that you don't really talk to once you finish.
Yeah. I've got an update. Earlier in the week, I was filling you in on what I thought, was sort of could have been just one-sided. I'd worked out that when I opened Bodhi's nappy, that when I removed the sort of Velcro-esque
adhesive
tag, it illuminated and sent out a colour, and it only happened during the middle of the night, not in the daytime. Had a few people. Wombat, he sent through a message saying, read the nappy spark, check out, and then he's put this word, triboluminescence. Triboluminescence. It's a big word, and it's got a whole Wikipedia page to it.
What does it mean?
Well, I went there. That's a good point. What does it mean? I mean, maybe it just means what it's meant to mean.
What does it say? Is it specific sparks for nappies?
It's an optical phenomenon, which is light being generated when a material is mechanically pulled apart, ripped, scratched, crushed, or rubbed. The phenomenon is not fully understood, but appears to be caused by the separation and reunification of static electrical charges. And then I saw the colour, dude. There's a photo of it. It is what I'm seeing. And then Glenn from over in Florida, he's messaged and sent me a link to eastbaytimes.com. Not sure what that is. It's a location, obviously. And then it's Ask Mr. Dad. And the question is, what were those green sparks? The question is, I was up changing my baby's diaper last night and saw green sparks shooting out of it. I called my wife in to show her, but it didn't happen again. She thinks I'm nuts. I'm quite sure I saw something. Could I have? And then the answer is, you're not crazy at all when you saw, oh my God, that word's there again. I can't say it.
Try and say it one more time.
What you saw was triboluminescence, which is relatively ordinary and completely harmless. In your case, oh, here we go. Trio comes from the Greek to rub, and luminescence, maybe it is luminescence. Luminescence has to do with light. May have been a build-up of energy caused by friction of your baby's bottom rubbing against the inside of the diaper. Oh, so this is different. He's seeing something different. Or from pulling on the tape. So I'm seeing it pulling on the tape.
Well, because there'd be a lot of static electricity that's built up from that.
But the weird bit is, it's just the dad seeing it in the middle of the night. And, mums are thinking we're crazy. But we're seeing light. Bizarre, dude. It's I'm glad I worked it out though. Like, it's so funny how you see someone who's just got the exact same thing going on. It's like we're all so basic with the same.
Well, Google's very handy, isn't it? 2020, you can find basically anything.
Well, see, the thing is, I didn't even know what to type in, and I'm glad that we have the Gronk Squad that could actually work out this. Well Wombat did a science degree, and so he knew about it. Yeah.
I wonder what other things, like I'm guessing a rock, like rocks, you can create sparks. Is that different?
I reckon that's different because that's like an impact of banging.
But that's what it could be. Friction, yeah. Yeah, I don't.
But this isn't. It's not. It's you could spark off a rock to create a fire, whereas I wonder what the difference is between an actual spark and the triboluminescence. I think that's how you must say it. Luminescence, yeah. Like I was obsessed. We had a flint rock as a kid. It was like a rock, but it was almost looked like the handle of a knife.
Yeah.
But rather than sort of like being a handle, it was on the top line was this line of flint. Do you know
what would you
flint
use
is?
it for? Yeah, it's flint is like it's for lighting things. Yeah, it's like is it soaked in something?
Well, no, flint. The flint itself is this. Yeah, it's a rock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's form of rock. Flint is a sedimentary cryptocrystalline form of a mineral quartz, but in a lighter. So when you roll the lighter, there's a little, almost looks like the head of a grey lead pen, like what's inside of a pencil, and it's being rubbed. When you roll the ball, it rolls on top of the flint and shoots the flint towards the gas.
Is it crazy to think how these products are made? Like the amount that goes into all of these different things.
Man,
like if
crazy.
you actually thought about all of the, like you pick up anything and you're like, oh, that's taken a bunch of work. You see like Apple do their own face masks for their employees.
Really? What
Apple
is it?
manufactures their own.
Wow.
Yeah,
smart.
its own.
They smart?
No, they're just like a better design, which is
wow.
a bit Apple of them.
On the flint rock, I've just seen it's flint is a hard, tough chemical that breaks with when it's fractured. It is a form of quartz. Mm-hmm. It's like who the hell worked out that if we got this and then broke it down, like got it into this specific type, like it's used, like they say flint is hard, tough chemical, or biochemical sedimentary rock that breaks with a fracture. And so who the fudge, other than sort of cavemen banging shit together, but you're right, everything, like everything
working
you touch,
out all that sort of stuff.
Everything, it goes deep, dude.
Have you thought about your 25-kilometre radius where you're going to go? I saw that Grace went for a walk. She can make it to South Melbourne, the water there. So she got her beach fix, even if it is a slightly average beach.
Well, yeah, so you can drive and then walk. Mm-hmm. That's all. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I actually thought about it last night. I was like, what if I just drove to the city and went walking around the city? That's allowed. I can make it there.
Yeah.
I wonder what
is that where you want to go?
Nah. I'd rather go towards the water down near my parents' place.
Yeah.
In Cheltenham. So, other than that, I don't know. Just...
You craving anything? Craving any holiday? Like if you think about your the ideal holiday, what would it be?
Overseas. Oh, we're talking a lot about on hump day, because you're the travel guy, and I leave, and you double down on the travel conversation. As I see, it's
what did I say? I haven't listened to hump day yet. What was I talking about?
They just got a good montage of you mentioning the places you've been to. Krakow, all of that shit.
Jess actually messaged and said, "Can't believe you loved Krakow." She wasn't a fan of Poland. Don't know if she mentioned it on hump day. Well,
Amy mentioned that she loves the end of croissants to her sister, and her sister said, that's the favourite bit of the croissant? Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. That's what you want. You want everyone to have a different taste. So does that mean, can I guess, is Amy a crust girl then? Pizza crust?
I wouldn't call her one.
Really?
No, I think croissants, because you can, it's a different ball game.
It's a crunch. I'm trying to even think of what an end of a croissant is.
The difference is it's all a buttery sort of down that end is crunchy, but it's pastry. It's a bit sweeter. Mm-hmm. Crust is. I'm the crust monster in this house.
Yeah,
I'll eat the crusts. Bodhi hates crusts. I love crusts.
What pizza place are you going to nowadays?
There's one at the end of my street. It's fucking phenomenal. It is ridiculous.
Is it easy to... Because I remember my dad refused... he said that margarita isn't a real pizza. We weren't allowed margarita pizzas. Thought it was a waste. Have you had anything like that? Is there any sort of...
I just want to know what his pizza is then, if that's not...
he was always like a Supremo or an Aussie or a...
mate.
Or a Meat Lovers or whatever. It's just... It needed a Mexicana, but it's just like, I remember when, because it wasn't like, I feel growing up, 3 boys, dad and mum, it's like, it was a pretty, easy bet that we would get the ones with lots of toppings. But when I started dating Brie, she would go the margarita, and you could see that it would just shit Dad to tears. Like, he was just so upset about the idea that we're wasting one of our family pizzas on a margarita.
Is it like a scarcity mindset? Is it like, if we need to fucking get value and lots of calories so that if something bad happens...
Well, you'd think that that's like based on the Supremo, you would think that's the case because that fucking thing's got everything. It's got like...
Dude.
What's it got? What's the thing that you like? It's a fish. It's like a fish. It's got like a tail.
I've
just gone blank.
Jesus.
Not calamari.
Sardines.
No. You have it in a salad. Prawns.
Oh.
Like just everything.
God.
Like they just fucking throw everything at a Supremo.
There's smoky bacon, butter mushrooms, black olives, red onion, diced capsicum, pepperoni, mozzarella cheese on a tomato base. But
Supremo doesn't even have prawns.
I reckon I've seen them with... I reckon I've seen one with... Maybe it's the Aussie. Think about shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, I just miss not having the scummy... Laser Pig that's in Collingwood just moved really close to our place. They just moved on Smith Street.
They?
Yeah.
They're on Smith Street now.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're just across from Easy Street, actually. Very close. But they, their pizza is obviously delicious, but it's so different than the pizza that you grow up on.
Oh, like 100%.
The small shitty ham, like that's an experience.
Well, where I go, 4 doors down, is an older style, like what I grew up on. That's sort of like you got a margarita and you looked at it and you couldn't tell if it was burnt or just had like this glaze of oil and cheese that was just bubbling, and underneath,
Would they have the plastic? I remember like a big deal was when they started doing the plastic separators, which I didn't even understand. What's that doing? It's stopping it from crushing, potentially like shows that the slices have been cut properly, because nothing would piss Dad off more than them not cutting the slices.
That is so true. But I've never still understood. If anything, it is you'd think it is
plastic pizza separators. You don't see them anymore. Did they just realise that they were unnecessary?
Yeah. What is that thing?
Plastic pizza separator. Pan separator. Yeah, here we go. Kitchen tools, white plastic pizza tables. No, that's not it. Yeah,
it's called a pizza saver.
But what is it doing?
Sometimes referred to as a pizza. It's cute when you look at it.
Your internet
up close,
shit the bed again.
Little table.
Sorry,
you hear me?
Yeah, you're downloading too much pizza stuff. Say that again.
It's pizza table, pizza stool, package saver. These are all the names. Pizza nipple or pizza ottoman is an object used to prevent the top of food container, such as a pizza box or cake box, from collapsing in the center and touching the food inside. So you're right.
The pizza saver is not reused and is typically discarded by the patron, although some people have found secondary uses for them, such as an egg holder when turned upside down.
Love that.
Surely we decided that wasn't a thing anymore. Don't you think?
Mate, no, landfill. They're gone.
Yeah.
They're absolutely gone.
Mm-hmm. But I just remember I remember when Domino's came to Endeavour Hills. It was a big deal. $5 pizzas. Just the Godfather.
That is cheap, but God will you not eat a margarita in my household.
Yeah. It is. Was your parents picky like that at all? Any sort of food rules?
It was like, don't be a Gronk and get Maccas all the time. It was the anti, don't have it.
Yeah.
What it's like, don't.
Dad was upset because the KFC at Endeavour Hills stopped doing bacon in their Zinger burgers because the franchisee or whatever was Muslim. But for whatever reason, but Dad just couldn't fucking handle it. It was just too much for Richard Janssen from Endeavour Hills. So it's just like, I want to speak to the manager. This is ridiculous. I'd be like, Dad, I'll just make you bacon at home. Do you really care that much? But isn't it just funny? Like, it's just a...
I mean, interesting thought is, though, which I've thought on seeing some... It's like franchisees gone rogue. Mm-hmm. And so there's a few around here, won't name names, but you see them and it's like they've got some sort of ghetto sign that they've printed out on an A4 bit of paper. It's like,
what sort of establishment?
Sticky?
What are they doing? What are they?
Restaurant. And it literally said, call, and had the number. Like, call blah, blah, blah for pickup. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely because of COVID, but they're a franchise, and I just know that that wouldn't be, like, there is rules, right? And so when someone makes a call,
but they need to fucking survive, bacon, right? Like, I always find franchises interesting, right? You spend a lot of money. There's a great, if you look up franchises Subway on YouTube, there's a great short documentary on Subway. Was one of the cheapest franchises to buy into. It was something like $150,000 or $200,000 to buy into it, compared to a McDonald's, which at the time was around $1 million. And wow. The problem was that they didn't have any non-compete area. And so in New York, on like one block, they would have 4 Subways. And so it was a real problem where it's like people who had bought into the franchise but couldn't make any money because there was just too many. Guess how many Subways there are in the world?
Oh, I reckon like there's probably 9,000. Like, I'm going to guess 12,082.
Okay, let's have a look. How many did you say? You broke up a little bit.
12,492.
44,000. Oh. It's a lot.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
A lot of footlongs.
It is a lot. Anyway, there you go. There's an interesting doc I wanted if you wanted to check that out. I'm starting to fall asleep after eating the equivalent of a family block in a hot chocolate.
In water, yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy your Friday, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow for Weekend Banter. Have a good one.
See you guys.